Because the other thing we can do as well, if you spot a property that you fancy going for, but you want us to do the donkey work on it, then basically we'll approach the agent and put an offer in as well. Property Snake is good, but as I said, it's far from perfect. It's not got all the pictures on there, all the properties. But it gives you a very good idea. If you want to, and I'm talking anything and everything, stuff from a couple of million right the way down for stuff for 40 and 50,000. Tells you how long they've been up for, how many times the price has dropped, what percentage has dropped by, and what the current asking price is.
So if I find something around my manor, I can ring what?
My manor. I'm in only fools and horses.
Go.
Go, yeah. Jay, start the three-wheeler. We're off.
Lovely job, lady. So if I find something around my manor, right? So I could ring your company up and say to you, I'll pay your fees, and then I could say to you, I want something around that area.
But that's what they'll do. Yeah, they'll source for you. They'll obviously, send you properties to look at, negotiate on price, things like that. That's exactly how it works. I've had people who come to me to buy residential properties. There was a guy who had to move with his job down to the southwest, down near a place called RAF St Morgan, which is right down in the deep end of Plymouth. He basically worked 9 till 5. He had no time to look for properties. He wanted a deal because he was going to buy it, live in it for now, and then rent it out. So he wanted something that would work as a buy-to-let. So we sourced one down there for him. Are there any cheap properties in the southwest? No. But it's, he was selling his family home and moving, so he was okay. Have I covered off hotspots? Where's good to buy at the moment? Yeah, northeast, East Midlands is very good. West Midlands is good. Northwest is okay. Stick with Lancashire, not Manchester.
And what about these?
They're not too bad. Valley prices are going up. I mean, obviously, you know yourself, there's a lot of good now commuter links onto the M4 and into Cardiff from most of the heads of the valleys right the way into the Rhondda, place like that. It's so much easier now. If you look at Merthyr used to have some very cheap houses there, but you've got a direct link now up to Hereford, up towards the M50 going one way, and then coming down the other way straight onto the M4 and into Cardiff. So prices have gone up, but you can still pick up stuff in those areas for 60, 70. Pontypridd is quite good at the moment for investment. Obviously, big college, it's university now, isn't it? University there, so good rental demand from students. I'm good, now.
You good?
Thank you very much indeed.
Tell them when to avoid, Mike.
London?
London, non-starter, south coast, south-east, south-west. Even Bristol nowadays, outskirts of Bristol are just ridiculously expensive. Somebody asked me earlier, yourself, Jay, asking areas around here. Swindon's still quite good. Reading's a non-starter, Slough's a non-starter, but Swindon's okay. There's some big council estates there. Yeah, same thing again, it's a case of finding stuff that matches people's criteria. You're not going to find anything cheap. Jay, what's your budget?
Not 250.
No. Even then, I mean, we're looking sub 100k, stuff like that, so stuff you can pick up cheap and cheerful, If people have got the money to spend, we can find you properties anywhere.
What about
But
Liverpool?
Liverpool's not too bad. Kind of missed the boat a little bit on Liverpool. As I said, city of culture. Prices went up, rental demand went up a bit. Stabilised there now. But it's Liverpool. I mean, what are you doing? No, Liverpool is good. It's a nice area. A lot of money being spent there.
Some areas of Foxtooth are being regenerated.
Yeah.
Compulsory purchase. I've got 7 properties in Liverpool. When I contacted the local council, they sent me a regeneration plan
Mm-hmm.
of all the streets they're pulling down and all the areas where the fascias were being renovated.
Yeah, like I said, there's grants available and stuff like
It's
that.
quite an extensive plan and over the period. I think it's over a 10-year programme.
Yeah.
The moving of Liverpool football ground and the redevelopment of that area. So
They moved to Manchester, aren't they?
uh,
They're going to share the ground, apparently. I don't
I mean,
know.
half the Liverpool team speaks Spanish. I think
Exactly, yeah.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
It's actually on hold at the moment, isn't it, the new stadium?
It's 359 million, I think they want to. Yeah, some problems with that.
Should I have a whip round?
But yeah, there's a lot of development.
Yeah.
Going on there.
Some of the areas that used to be seen as, areas like Toxteth, like you said, money's been spent in these areas. Who was it mentioned when I mentioned Manchester and places like Moss Side and Hume? Notoriously bad areas, rough areas. Millions has been spent in Hume doing it up. The prices have gone through the roof in those areas now. It's still a dump, and I still wander around there at night, but money's been spent there. So, unfortunately, the prices have gone up, and the rental demand has dipped off, because what they tried to do was get affordable housing, but it didn't work like that. The houses went up, and suddenly they found there was lots of private buyers wanted them. So, not a great area now. Any other questions before I call it quits? And then you all run over there to sign a form? If you all...
£350 fee,
Yeah?
is it per search?
No.
It's a one-off,
Yeah.
and then you're a client.
Basically, you become a client, then we'll search on your criteria. So,
And it's tax deductible.
yeah, because you're running a business.
Can you just explain the let,
Ahuja Let's basically was set up by AJ and his girlfriend quite a while ago. AJ being... Oliver, are you still recording me? I was told at the beginning not to talk to the camera, but I wanted to check this. Okay, AJ, reluctant to pay 10 or 12% on his portfolio for obvious reasons. A lot of money being given away. Most letting agents will do something at the beginning, get your tenants in there, and then something at the end when your tenants go out. They tend not to do a great deal in between, but in the meantime, you're paying 12% every single month. Ahuja Let's, basically what happens is if you're going to buy a house in Middlesbrough, you go onto the Ahuja Let's website, look at the Middlesbrough County Council area or Middlesbrough area, click on it, and it'll bring you up anyone within the Ahuja Let's franchise that lives in that area. Contact details, telephone number, email address, all that kind of good stuff, Skype, contact number, the whole lot. You contact them and say, hi, I'm Mike, I'm down in South Wales, I'm buying a house in Middlesbrough. I bought it, but I need to get tenants in there. Can you speak to a local letting agent or whatever to get tenants in, or can you speak to the county council? Yeah, no problems, that will cost you, for example, £25. Okay, great, that's done, I've got tenants lined up. Can you now get them to sign an AST for me and set up a standing order? Yeah, done, that's 50 quid. Okay, thanks, that's all I need, £75. So what they do, if you go onto the Ahuja Let's website, it actually has an itemised breakdown of how much they charge to do whatever it is. So if all you use them for a calendar year is get the tenants in there, sign an AST and sign a standing order, and it's cost you £75, the actual letting fee for that property for that period is £75. That's all you pay. If you don't use them, you don't pay them. If the radiator is leaking and they need to get a plumber out, you contact them and say, can you contact a local plumber, let them in to actually sort it out? Yeah, that'll cost you £25, plus obviously then you pay the plumber's fee, which you'd pay anyway. But it means you only use them then when you need to use them, and it works incredibly well. Because what that guy up in Middlesbrough does says, hi Mike, I've got properties down in, I don't know, Nottingham. Can you get me in contact with somebody down there to manage those? Yeah, no problems. And they do that.
And is there a fee for signing up for that?
No. No, you just go onto it, click onto it, whichever area you've got properties, and just ring the person who manages that area. Obviously, the bigger the area, the more Ahuja Let's people we have working there. It is indeed, yeah. Yeah. I think. Yeah, if you go on there, it'll say costs. Just go onto there. As I said, you just search an area and it brings up whoever's there.
These are like landlords in the area.
They basically are. A lot of these guys have existing portfolios anyway. It's just a little revenue stream for them. Exactly. Just makes life an awful lot easier for you as well. Or even if you want them to view a property for you, just say, look, I'll pay you £25. You can have a look at this property for me. Yeah, saves you getting on a train or whatever and driving up there. Anything else, or are we done? No? Okay, excellent. Guys, thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you.
Before you all leg it, many thanks to my colleague James. Round of applause for James. And because I'm very vain, a round of applause for me as well. Thank you very much. Cheers, thanks a lot, guys.